The only reason I know Saint Seiya is under Shueisha is because of Jump Force. That's the only reason I know that.
Oh, that's rough. I thought you actually looked that one up. Dang.
No, I just know because of Jump Force.
He learned it from his favorite game.
Hey, that game was nominated for Best Fighting Game of 2019. Thank you. Or 2020.
And Sonic was the best hero movie of 2020, and we already know how I feel about that.
Hey, that is a good movie.
Listen.
I will fight you about that. Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome into AniMan Plus episode 35. Your host, Alex Light with Sparky3. Hopefully you are having an incredible day today, whatever day you are watching or perhaps listening to this podcast on one of the various platforms that we're on. Joining with me, as always, here in studio, I got my guy Zach in here. Zach, how are you doing today?
It's going good. Another great day. Time to roll.
Another great day. Time to roll. Time to knock one out, as we normally do. Joining with us over the phones, we have Josh here. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing well. Doing fantastic. Doing great.
You sound so enthusiastic.
I'm super enthusiastic.
Always ready for it to knock out another one, right?
Oh, yeah. Knock them out all day, every day.
That's right. That's right.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, there you go. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about, we got some updated sales numbers on the Weekly Shonen Jump May volumes that recently came out. We've been tracking those as we normally do. We do have a little follow-up here to what's going on with Berserk with the recent passing of the author, unfortunately. And we also have a little bit of a tidbit of One Piece news that we're going to talk about. It's actually kind of neat, celebrating the 100th volume that is set to come out sometime this year. So with that said, let me go through some quick plugs here for you. If you want to follow us, stay up to date with everything we have going on, at AniMan Podcast over on Twitter is the place to go. That's where we're the most active. I wouldn't really worry about the other social accounts too much, but hey, you know, if you want to go follow the others, feel free. We'll be back on there eventually, probably. Reminder here, we do have my other podcast, my gaming podcast now, Strictly Gaming, with a new slight name tweak of Lighthearted Gamers, which Zach here is my co-host on. You can follow us on Twitter at LH Gamers Podcast. Go follow us there, where we share some news, you know, put out some predictions, stuff like that. And you know, that show we're back for like what, 4 episodes now we've done, or 3 around there, 3?
Yeah, no, 4.
Yeah, we've done 4 episodes back now. It's rock and roll. Numbers are looking good, by the way.
Oh, are they going up? Cool.
Numbers are looking good. I'm liking what I'm seeing on the numbers. You know, it's good to have that show back into the fold, especially right now. Like episode 42 of Lighthearted Gamers is going to be electric. This has been a crazy week for gaming stuff. Not as crazy for anime stuff though. I feel like we got a little bit of a shorter script today, which, you know, it's not really a big deal. Gives us a chance to talk a little bit more about the anime where we don't necessarily feel as rushed. I mean, we don't normally feel rushed. We don't care if the show goes on for a while, but you know, we like to, you know, sometimes not drag it out for 2 hours. You know,
Shoot. You say there's nothing news out there, but because of a couple episodes back when you and Josh decided to go on a tirade about Dragon Ball, for whatever reason, my phone sounded like, oh, Dragon Ball? I will let you know of anything Dragon Ball related on Twitter. I'm like, I don't care. Stop. I literally don't care.
Yeah, that would be our fault. Apologies there. You know, but oh well. You know, it is what it is, right? Last couple plugs here is with the Lighthearted Gamers coming back. We do have the Pokemon 25th and Zelda 35th special that's set to come out. The Pokemon 25th special.
Jesus, sorry.
Oh, you're good. The Pokemon 25th special actually should have already been recorded. Josh was supposed to come over this past week and record it with me, but I had an emergency pop up, and we did not get around to getting that recording done. So we're going to plan to record it here in a couple of weeks. It's still slated to come out in June, probably late June now. And the Zelda 35th is going to set to come out in July. Probably going to line it up around with the Skyward Sword HD release. And lastly, if you want to support us further, don't feel obligated to, but the Patreon is a great way to do so. Patreon.com/Sparky3. If you got, you know, some extra dollars under the couch cushion you want to throw our way, we'd greatly appreciate it. But, you know, don't feel obligated. Just be a friend, tell a friend about the show, and that's enough for us. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's kick things off with some One Piece news. Got a couple little tidbits of One Piece that is celebrating volume 100 coming out. That's obviously a massive accomplishment. We just had the massive accomplishment of 1,000 chapters come out not too long ago. We did get the cover reveal for One Piece Volume 99, which which featured a wide range of characters, but like the big centerpiece character was Big Mom. And the interesting news about this is volumes 99, 100, and 101 put them together makes one giant picture of everything kind of going on in Wano. So like volume 100 will feature Luffy as the center front, and volume 101 will feature Kaido as the center front with a wide mass of characters all fit around. But that's a nice little tribute there to celebrate volume 100 coming out. And with that said, there's actually going to be 100 taxis over in Japan that's going to have One Piece panels on their windows to celebrate volume 100 coming out. So that's just a cool little tidbit that I came across.
Do you think if you manage to see all the taxis and line them up properly, it'll just do one of the volumes, just chapter for chapter or page for page?
That's a good question, and I would be very curious to hear the answer for that.
Or do you think with it being
cool.
Japan, if you manage to ride in all the taxis, you get like a stamp or something, and if you collect, they all have like 100 different things, and if you collect it, maybe you get something special with it being Japan?
It wouldn't shock me if this ends up being a thing. I think that'd be really cool.
It wouldn't shock me either. This is why I'm suggesting it.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Josh is the big One Piece fan here on this show. Hearing that volumes, 99, 100, 101 are all going to create one giant image. Does that make you maybe want to pick up the volumes when they finally end up coming out for us? Just for collective purposes type of deal?
That's a definite possibility, but I'm one of those people that if I'm going to buy those, I'm gonna have to buy the other 99.
Man, I feel you. That's why I haven't bought a lot of manga. I can't just buy a couple. It's rough.
And I don't know where I'd put them or where I'd get the money for it. I also, had the thought that, pirates getting around the restriction in Japan on like pirating manga and stuff. And now they can just read it in taxis for free.
That's true.
And here I am, support digital releases, people.
Good guy Zach here on AniMan Plus. We all stress to support the official release, even though we personally kind of maybe dance around it sometimes. Like I know Zach and I dance around it with like Eden Zero and a couple things that we read, but other than that, we say support the official release.
I dance around it for Eden Zero, but I have actually started buying the Tokyo Revengers digitally.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If I can't read it or watch it legit, I'm just not going to read it or watch it.
Yeah, see, now that's respect. That's how Josh is.
Okay, so I'm going to say this, Josh. If it's not true, so be it. I feel like he does that because he doesn't want to bother finding it.
That's probably accurate. Is that accurate, Josh?
All right, first off, I learned my lesson last year when I wanted to read Demon Slayer and had to read 20 chapters of nonsensical bullshit. After that, I will never look for it.
That's
pirated again.
That's totally fair. Those chapters that we read were kind of rough.
Then you'll say it was gangster Demon Slayers.
Basically, it was just an unreasonable amount of cursing. I'm fine with cursing. You guys listen to the show. You guys know I curse. It's a thing. But it was
100% out of character for what's his name, Taiju, Crybaby, Taiju, to be like, "You motherfucker, I'm gonna bust your ass, motherfucker. I'm gonna kill you, bitch," and just being like, "Is this what he would really say though?"
Right.
Yeah, okay. After that, I'm done.
I mean, hey, I can give you some good sources to read Tokyo Revengers. I'll just give you a porn pop-up every couple chapters, but that's about it.
I'm not super into that because, I do try to read some at work and imagine just sitting there reading it, just hits pop up and everyone's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" God.
Mind your business. Don't mind what I'm doing.
Just stare them down and be like, "What? You don't?"
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's your damage, man? Just let me do my thing.
This is a free country.
Yeah, exactly. Next piece of news we've got here is Saint Seiya Next Dimension is set to come back from hiatus, and we'll get the Shonen Champion cover and lead color pages. I have no idea what Shonen Champion is. I don't know. I get just one of their other magazines, I guess. I know they have multiple. I keep finding out about new ones from Shonen Jump that I've never even heard of. But
there's tons of magazines we never know.
That's true.
Is this technically from Shonen Jump? or is it just like another magazine? Like,
it's from Shueisha. I mean, that's all I know.
Okay, all right.
So it's all in the
I was
same
about to say,
umbrella.
like, I don't know if Weekly Shonen Magazine is Shonen Jump, because I think if I'm not wrong, Shonen just basically means like for a younger male audience. It's basically like
that's correct. I'm pretty sure that Shonen Champion comes from Shueisha. Who does Weekly Shonen Magazine? That's what, Kodansha? I think that's Kodansha.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, that's Kodansha, and then there's Shueisha that has.
We don't do research, people.
Yeah, I'm a terrible host. If you guys haven't figured this out yet, hey, what's up? I'm a terrible host of this show. But no, it's Kodansha for Weekly Shonen Magazine and Shueisha for Weekly Shonen Jump and everything. And the only reason I know Saint Seiya is under Shueisha is because of Jump Force. That's the only reason I know that.
Oh, that's rough. I thought you actually looked that one up. Dang.
No, I just know because of Jump Force.
He learned it from his favorite game.
Hey, that game was nominated for Best Fighting Game of 2019. Thank you. Or 2020.
And Sonic was the best hero movie of 2020, and we already know how I feel about that.
Hey, that is a good movie.
Listen.
I will fight you about that.
I hate to interrupt this golden conversation here, but if I remember correctly, we had a whole rant where you started like shitting on Jump Force.
Yeah.
So now you're flip flopping. Now it's the best game of 2019 or whatever.
Look, I just hold on. It is a terrible game. Okay, terrible game, horrible. But I just love to point out the fact that it was nominated for Best Fighting Game of 2020. Now, granted, that's obviously because there's not many fighting games that come out throughout the year. I mean, hell, it was 2019 nominated, because 2020 nominated, for example, had the damn One Punch Man game was nominated for Best Fighting Game. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. It's just because there's not many fighting games that come out. Your winners are always going to be, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, but every once in a while you might sneak a shitty anime game in there just because there's no other options. So it's just funny. It's just funny to point out that, oh look, Jump Force was nominated for Best Fighting Game of 2019, just like One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, is nominated for 2020.
Are you calling Dragon Ball FighterZ a shitty anime game? Because as far as I'm aware, that's like one of the top tier fighting games right now.
No, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But then you have other ones like One Punch Man and Jump Force that come out. So.
And the My Hero Academia ones.
Yeah, One's Justice. Yeah, those are not good. Those are not good. Maybe they did release just a new My Hero mobile game.
Yep.
Have you guys checked that out yet? I have it downloaded on my phone, but I haven't sat down to play it yet. I've read online that people are saying that it's actually a really good game.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I haven't messed with it, but yeah, that's what I've read as well, is that people saying they really like it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Josh?
I have no interest in looking into it.
Is it just because it's a mobile game?
Pretty much.
I mean, okay, that's fair. I mean, I'm going to play it. I'll give it a shot. Why not?
I'm balls in on one mobile game. I don't want to do it for another one.
Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Yep, you are very balls in on that.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the news. Back to the actual show. We had a fun little tangent there. So Japan could potentially extend the state of emergency with COVID into June. So just wanted to make that known in case you see any anime delays of like the current season, current ongoing stuff. That's going to be more than likely the reason why. One random little shout out that I wanted to give, because it cracked me up when I saw it, is, with the current chapters going on with My Hero Academia, we have, introduced a new hero turned villain character, Lady Nay Grant, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm probably horribly wrong on this. You guys know how I am pronouncing things. And everyone is simping over her right now on the internet. And for the preview for this new chapter that just came out, 313, Shonen Jump official Twitter put something up about it, and there was someone that commented where it's just like, I want to go ahead and apologize for who I'm going to become when this gets animated, because they're going to simp over him. And the official Twitter for Weekly Shonen Jump responded saying they do not blame them to simp over this new character. I thought it was kind of funny. I may simp over. We'll see. We'll see. We got more stuff to come. Really been enjoying these past couple chapters, though. Really been enjoying the past couple chapters of My Hero. Some other chapters that I've also been enjoying here recently and going to continue to enjoy is Tokyo Avengers. The manga is confirmed to be entering its final arc with 207, which if you're reading it, you probably could have very easily guessed that, which is kind of where we are at things right now. But it was confirmed at the, with I think it was at the end of the chapter.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the end of the chapter. It did confirm that it is entering its final arc. So really excited to see what's going to come next. 207 was a good chapter. Really enjoyed it. Next up, we got Lupin the Third gets a 6th anime series for its 50th anniversary.
Woo!
Yeah, Zach's pumped about this. I personally don't have any interest. Lupin the Third's all right. I never got super into it. It was just okay.
I mean, I enjoy it. I own the first 5 seasons and like 3 movies, so.
Damn, yeah, that's definitely really enjoying it.
Which one's the one where the intro is basically them just saying his name like 50,000 times?
Say that again?
Like there's one there, because apparently there's 5 different series for Lupin the Third. And I remember watching one, but the intro was like, Lupin the Third, Lupin. And it was just that for like 3 minutes.
If I remember correctly, that's either the 3rd or 4th season.
All right.
It's been a while since I've listened to the openings, so.
Whichever one that is the one I watched.
Okay.
Well, right on.
I was just saying, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I'm hyped.
Oh, well, it's good that you're hyped. Are you also hyped over, Prince of Tennis movie coming out?
Yes.
I know you are. That was such a quick answer, by the way. Just, yes, please give me Prince of Tennis. We also have the Slam Dunk movie coming out, right? I think that's a thing. Yeah. So it's a good time to be a sports manga fan, I guess.
Yeah, got Shaquille O'Neal in it, I hear.
Is it go?
Myself.
Yeah, do what now?
I said I got Shaquille O'Neal in it, I hear from myself.
Oh yeah, it's sources, dude. Trust me. That's basically what we just got here. What we also have here is we also have probably obviously going to be the last reported sales numbers potentially for the May volumes of Weekly Shonen Jump. These numbers I have were like the end of last week. I didn't see a new update, so we may get a new update here in the next couple days leading into the June volumes. Which, do we know what's coming out in June yet? I don't think I saw anything come out yet for what we have coming out in June. I know Ball Parade will be one.
Mm-hmm.
I know Witch Watch Volume 1 is one. Ayakashi Triangle, I believe, got its next volume. But what's coming next? I know it was announced, like a couple months ago. I just can't remember. Do we have a new? Is 99 set for June, or is 99 set for One Piece set for July? Do we remember? Is JJK got a new one coming out? I personally don't remember.
I'm not sure. I know for sure in June, Spy Family's light novel comes out, and then the next volume comes out in July.
Okay.
That's about as far as I know.
I want to say June was the month where we had One Piece and JJK going to be going head to head. So I'm pretty sure that we got a new volume for those two.
Still no Elusive Samurai.
Yeah, still no confirmation on Volume 1 for Elusive Samurai. That's probably going to be July.
It's eluding volume sales.
It is eluding it. Yes, it's doing very, very good at its title. But anyway, so for the May volume sales, probably want to be one of the last, the second probably last reporting. Mashal Volume 6, 108K. Undead Unluck Volume 6, 43K. Yozakura Family Volume 8, 33K. Phantom Seer Volume 3, Rest in Peace, 22K. That's actually not too bad. And ITLC Volume 1, it didn't have a rank because of how bad it sold, but the last reported that we had was around 2K, so not obviously good. ITLC is dead.
Yes.
Yeah, mega dead, dude.
Rip.
Yeah, big dead. So maybe we'll get some actual hard numbers on it here in a few days, but it's not like it matters. Dude, I think it's dead as can be. And then the last thing we have going on is involving Berserk. We just had the recent passing of Kentaro, unfortunately, and but apparently the Berserk manga is going to set to be continued with the assistant. Said in an interview recently, just said, "Yeah, I'll do my best." So I mean, it's cool to see that the Berserk manga is not going to end just cold turkey. That it is going to continue. We are in an age now where if things would happen to X artists, they do have assistants set up to continue. Like I know Oda is one, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If something would happen to Oda, One Piece will for sure continue. His assistants know everything that's supposed to go down. But kind of wonder how it's set up for with Berserk. Was there already like a full blown like end goal, like this is where we're going, or is assistant just gonna have to kind of create it himself? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is sort of the down part of this, because that's gonna feel bad for the assistant, because even if there is sort of a guideline of Kentaro left of a plot line or story boards to follow, you can never know unless he wrote like very detailed stuff.
Yep.
You can never know exactly how exactly he wanted everything to go in order. All the assistant I can guess says whatever's left behind and run with it. And regardless of what happens, if it turns out good, great. If it doesn't, freaking people are gonna savage at him.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, you know, with assistants, a lot of them don't switch out. So, you know, let's say, you know, this dude was helping him out for years. He's got to at least have a pretty good idea of where, you know, of what he needs to do, where it needs to go to, like, you know, keep it in line.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, got to have a little faith, because it's not like, you know, it might not be like an Oda situation where he, like, tells the people close to him, like, you know, if this happens to me, this is exactly where I want this to go.
Right.
So, which I don't know if we talked about this last week, but the whole, like, you know, Kentaro's whole death, like, made Hunter x Hunter trend, because all the fans of Hunter x Hunter were like, you know, it was like a split between them, where like half were like, you know, I don't care if it ever finishes, like, Togashi's health is way more important, and then the other half, like, you better finish this before he dies,
which is fucked up.
Which is fucked up. And what makes it even worse is I don't believe he has an assistant. His assistant is his wife.
Yeah.
So I think if something happens to him, it's not getting finished, period.
I mean, I don't think it's getting finished, period. Anyway.
I mean, I don't think it is either, but I mean, he did say in an interview a few years ago that, you know, that was brought up with it trending, was like, he would really like to finish it before he dies. Like, technically, he said, I've done one ending, but there's so much left that I can still do, that I want to do. And I hope to, like, continue it. And this was like a couple years ago, so maybe. I always like to throw Hunter x Hunter news in there whenever I can. I've been rewatching it. It's my favorite series ever, besides One Piece.
Yeah, besides the One Piece, I was about to say, you know, it's like, hold on. No, when it comes to, Zach, what you were saying about, you know, if it's not good content, people are going to, like, kind of basically roast them. I hope that won't be the case.
I really hope it isn't turn out that way. It's just...
I see what your point is. Yeah, I see it. I just hope it won't
the
be.
Assistant knows, as Josh was saying, but I just feels rough for the guy who's left in that position. If just regardless of what happens, it's unfortunately going to fall off on him, just because he's now the focal point.
Yep.
And fan bases can be either really nice or absolutely awful, depending on how things roll. So.
I was just going to say the fan base is already kind of pissed off, so his continuation may not get a lot of love, just because a lot of people are legitimately pissed that Kentaro did die without finishing Berserk. So I think
which is so stupid.
It is stupid, but it's legit. Like, people are legit pissed off about it. So I can see the continuation not getting as much love. Kind of almost like, you know, how Attack on Titan hasn't gotten a lot of love with its ending.
Right. Yeah, man. It's so stupid that people are actually mad about this. Like, at what point do we have to step back and realize that our love for these stories and these fandom, like your fandom for something, has gone too far, when you're getting pissed off that a series that you love won't be finished, or be finished properly, let's say that, because let's say a passing. Like, that's stupid. Like, we got to take a step back as a community. You know, we got to take a step back. And it's the same thing with what you were saying about the Hunter x Hunter thing. Like, I get it. People love Hunter x Hunter. It's a legendary series. I think that's fair to say. And I get the frustration and, you know, that it's gone on hiatus, but I mean, come on, man, we got to take a step back. Like, people, you know, saying that, you know, that you better finish this series, you know, before you die, because of it. Like, come on, man, we got to take a step back as a community. We have to. Like, we can't do that, dude. That's just toxic, man. We're not here for that. Anyway, let's talk about what we're watching this week. Let's talk about all of our anime. I caught up on everything except the latest episode of To Your Eternity, episode 7. I did not get around to watching, but I did catch up on 6, both episodes of Eden's Zero and Seven Deadly Sins. Let's kick things off with My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 9. This was Match 4, one episode for the Match 4, which was the Bakugo episode. Very good episode, in my opinion. I loved this episode. Yeah. This episode was fantastic, in my opinion. You know, just overall, what did you guys think about it? I loved almost every single bit of it.
I forgot how much that Class B in round 4 got shat on.
Yeah, dude, they got
Oh yeah.
they got obliterated.
I would like to throw out that like halfway through this, I just like started laughing really hard because that dude's name is Jack Mantis and he has thighs, and all I could think was, I can cut that.
Yeah, dude, me too. Like, as soon as I saw the name pop up, Jack Mantis, and he's like coming, his arms crossed the blades, I said out loud, I can cut that. Oh man,
exactly what I did.
Yeah.
You think that was on purpose? Because at the time, Black Clover would have been out at that time when that was originally in the manga.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I wouldn't be surprised just because we've also mentioned how Chainsaw Man makes an appearance in the series as well. So
True.
Yeah.
It's true.
Spoiler alert.
Chainsaw Man is canon in My Hero. That little Easter egg, do you think it's going to make it into the anime?
I mean,
I hope
I
so.
think it will, but I feel like it's going to be similar to like what One Piece has done through the years with Panda Man. It'll be in there, but it's not going to be a focus shot or anything.
Right, yeah.
So you have to be really looking forward to see it.
I'm be looking for
I mean, that brings up the other question of like My Hero cameos, I guess. Since here recently, he's put a shit ton of like Mario references in it. Like, do you think those will make it in? Yeah.
I guess we'll see. I hope they make it in. Be faithful to the manga. Put it in. I want to see Chainsaw Man in My Hero Academia. Let's do it. Season 6. Let's do it, man. I want to see it. But no, for this episode, though, man, it was honestly phenomenal. Like I said, it was the match 4. Finished it up in one episode this time of just a steamroll with Bakugo, Jiro, sugar guy. I don't even know his name. I have no idea his hero name or his actual name. I have no idea. I just know one of his moves is Sugar Rush.
I mean, I believe that is his.
Is his hero name Sugar Rush?
I believe so.
I have no idea. He's one of those obscure main like cast of characters that you gets no time at all.
He's one of the two unfortunate in Class 1A that gets no showtime. Him and the animal talking guy.
Yeah, the animal talking guy too. Yeah, they both get shafted pretty much consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, this was just a beatdown with Bakugo, and this was a great for Bakugo fans out there, this is another step in the direction of his character development. The first like real step in his character development that, at least in my opinion, the first big step was, the fight with Deku. That was the first big step. There were a few things before there, that was kind of leading up to it, but that was the first massive step for his character development. And this episode is now teasing further along his character development that's going to continue to be explored going up into what's going to be season 6. Because, in this episode, as, the battle's going on and you come back in like flashbacks of the plan, Bakugo saying, it's like, when you guys are in trouble, I'll save you. But when I'm in trouble, you guys save me. Where it is teamwork, but, to everyone else watching at first, they're just like, oh, he's just taking the lead. He's just an asshole. And then, but in reality, he has changed, and he is, trying to implement teamwork, which through that one dickhead with the copy quirk, I don't remember his name, from Class B off, where he's just like, wow, he's actually changed. Oh shit. Caught Deku off guard, caught All Might off guard, had a nice little shot after the fight where, when they were coming up, All Might came up to him, he's like, I got chills, and then Baku's like, what, do you have a cold or something? Get a coat, get out of my way. And I love the shot with Deku and Baku where Deku's just like, Kachan, and Baku immediately yells, get out of my way, and Deku's like, I'm not in your way though.
Yeah.
Love that little shot. But no, this was a great episode, dude. Love this episode.
And it's really important too that the teamwork is what really caught everyone off guard and was the whole reason why Class B lost, is because they were expecting Bakugo to just be like wild card and do everything himself. And they thought they could just pick off everyone else. So that was, really cool to see that changed so much to just throw everything.
True. And, starting with episode 10, man, we got the final match, which is the big one we've been waiting for, because we have a pretty big moment coming up with Deku that's going to be, it's going for anime only viewers, you guys are going to get pretty hyped here. And probably from the preview shot, maybe like the end of this episode 10, maybe. We'll see it happen. And then episode 11 it'll be explored is my guess. So yeah, anime only viewers, you guys are in for a treat.
No, it's sort of funny watching this all animated and everything, and re-looking at the teams and going, Deku's team's really weak.
Oh, right.
And just how they call it out of the beginning, I was like, they're right. I did not realize that when I was reading this. But yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Josh, how was One Piece 975? What do we got going on over there?
Not a whole lot, which is what's really sad about, the current backstory is that it's not a whole lot of like new information. It's basically just how this happened. So basically this episode was how Kinemon, Razio, don't remember his name, and Momosuke got transported 20 years in the future. It was basically all that occurred. Kaido came and attacked Toki and Momosuke and Hyrule, and yeah, that's basically all that happened. The next episode is just going to be showing, what happened to the rest of the retainers for the 20-year span between that and what's happening currently. So it's just a couple more episodes of not a lot to talk about before we get into stuff that is going to be a lot to talk about.
All right. Well,
you know what feels bad hearing this? Just because I know how One Piece usually goes, odds are once it gets through all this backstory, it's going to be like 2 to 3 episodes of just recap of, now that we're out of this is everything that happened before these episodes to remind you what's going on here.
Yeah, we're just like complete off-the-wall filler or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I technically think they're treating this arc as a filler arc, even though it's it's like filler canon because it's in the manga as well.
Right.
So I'm hoping that this is the filler that leads up to because it has been significantly extended to a point that there are things that definitely weren't in the manga.
So it even feels drawn out in the anime like it did for you reading it weekly.
Yeah, so watching it weekly
That's
that's brutal.
Because this episode was really like one thing happened, but it was just so spaced out with other things that I was just like, okay, cool, all right, that's the thing that happened for the episode. So
that's rough. That's rough, man.
I mean, that's how it's been for a little bit. It's just it's all stuff we already know. It's just showing how it happened now instead of just knowing that it happened, and it's just like there's not really anything to talk about or explain because we all know.
Right. Okay. Well, let me know when we actually get to the good stuff that I really care about, and I'll probably hop in.
I will.
Right now, I'm just watching everything like that Crunchyroll will put out on YouTube, whatever, from clips from episodes. That's what I'm keeping up with right now in terms of the One Piece anime. I'm just watching those at the moment.
Well, the next episode is titled 20 Years in the Future to Present Day. So I'm assuming that this is the last part of the Odin backstory, and it will lead off into what's happening then.
Gotcha.
So I feel like I hope this is the last episode.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, what about Dragon Quest episode 33? What's going on over there in the world of the Dragon Quest? They just got a new game announcement and stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dragon Quest fans. I know you guys are probably pretty pumped. So what do we have going on for the anime?
So it's rough being Pop.
That's the normal trend.
Like, Pop has a sad story. First,
should it have made it into the bonus cast?
I mean, at this point, I feel like because his character was written to be an asshole, so he'd be hated by the fan base, only to have a redemption that doesn't matter because the fan base already hates him. Now, he tries and goes after his love, but she's in love with this dark, edgy guy, and he saves her when he can't. She leaves him, and then all this shit. Then he gets killed, only to he gets killed to make his final sacrifice be useless because he didn't finish off the person, so he just died. And then when he's in heaven, he gets friggin' mocked by our little golden slime thing, even in death, which brings him back. And then in this episode, Hadlar and his last retainer use magic to more or less bring him out and put him off his guard by taking a form of man, and then just to beat him. Dude just died. He came back to life. He chose to do guard duty, and he just gets beat on. It's rough being Pop, man.
Yeah, Pop has a rough life, man. Gets beat on in the anime, gets beat on in real life from the fans. Pop has a rough time.
I mean, so the main thing what happened in this episode is it's after the fight with Barrow, everyone's wounded and whatnot, and they're trying to heal up. And so Hadlar and his last Legion commander, I forget his name, he's the mage dude, decide they're going to attack. and decide to stealth attack him by throwing out a mystic fog that puts him in a sleep. And for whatever reason, it doesn't really dive deep into it. Pop's not as effective with it, so the mage transforms into Ma'am, making him believe she's shown up there. And Pop seems like he's on guard because some of the things he says, he sort of triggers, and Pop's like, that doesn't make sense. But then suddenly they go, well, when he suggests to go and meet everyone, he's like, well, let's stay out here. I want to be with you. And Pop naturally goes, okay.
All right.
And gets stabbed in the neck.
Oh.
He gets stabbed in the neck and injected with poison.
Oh, poor Pop.
Yeah.
Pop may be a bitch, but he didn't deserve that.
And then also, I forgot. So we killed the love triangle between Hyunkul, Ma'am, and Pop. And then now we have a love triangle of Ma'am, Pop, and our seer girl, Meryl. Because she apparently has a thing for Pop. And when she sees the fake Ma'am with him, she's just like, what am I thinking? It's just because I'm jealous. It just starts to walk away, and it's just like, really, another love triangle? Seriously? And this time it's Pop.
Let Pop have some love.
Yeah. But yeah, more or less he gets poisoned. Everyone's been put to sleep. And as they're about to kill him, Marchov, the super mage, shows up and fights him. They have a nice little standoff of sizzle spells hitting each other. As Martov's about to perish, Pop reaches out with his mind to Die, saying, Die, come help. Die naturally hears him in his mind, comes out, and freaking absorbs that shit into his fist. His fist slightly absorbs the magic and just reflects it like it's a friggin'
Mirror Force?
Yes. And just like, yeah, that was easy. And then after that, they rest up. Marchov gives them Avon's book. It's like, here, you might need this. It's his book he wrote after his adventuring days. This is good for a bunch of you greenhorns. And they then set off to leave to continue their adventures. All of them getting in a wagon to go. Sounds like the princess is going to go to her country and actually do princess things. And actually run her country like she should have, but didn't. Pop is still going to be Pop. Hyunkul
Normal.
And Crocodine's going to carry on for a bit till they separate, which wouldn't be surprising to me. And as they're leaving, Dai has a nice little moment and looks over to the lake where, in this country they've been in the whole time of seers and whatnot, just looks over this lake all nice and just, he's like, I'm going. And we just have a shot of Barham staring at him. I was just like, okay, this is a weird moment, but carry on. And they go off. And I assume we're going to get reintroduced to Ma'am next episode.
I'm sorry. I know you're not a Ma'am fan.
I mean, I might be now that they've dealt with the issue of she apparently spec'd wrong.
That's right. She did.
Freaking running as a healer when she's apparently supposed to be a martial artist. Because the next episode, they apparently go to a martial arts tournament. It's just like, and in the preview, it's just like, Di and Pop are shocked by a contestant. I was like, it's Ma'am, right? It's a martial arts tournament. She went to be a martial artist. It's in the damn city she went to be a martial artist. Just say it's Ma'am, assholes.
All right, right on. What about Tokyo Avengers episode 7? How you guys feeling about that one this week? This was just a continuation of what we had started up in 6, where we have a couple members of Toman and what's the other gang's name? Morbius. Mobius. Yeah. Surprised I remembered that. But yeah, Mobius.
Do you remember the guy's name in the red jacket?
Osanai.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, look at that. Also, before we continue with this, because it is the ongoing joke that I'm a terrible host, so I want to further drive the record that I'm a terrible host. Hey, shout out to the fact that we put out a bonus cast for best backstories. If you guys were going to check that out, we'd appreciate that. Anyway, Tokyo Revengers episode 7. Yeah, we had the follow up of Mobius and Toman. The few members of Toman, most notably, we have obviously our leader Mikey. We have Dragon Takamichi's there, and then Payon and Payon. Is that their names? I don't look at that. I'm remembering stuff. But yeah, we had that little fallout there. But how do you guys feel about this episode, though?
I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, it was a good little build up of the situation of Takamichi trying to figure things out together. Why Draken apparently died in a parking lot and what led to that, and just our slow devolving into Takamichi losing everything he loves.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Josh,
Yeah,
what you got on it?
It was interesting to see, like, from everything leading up to this, like, you'd never think that Draken and Maki would ever have a falling out, and then what they're having a falling out over.
Yeah.
Was interesting to see.
True. And I love the whole end, like, portion of the episode where, like, they just keep destroying it. Like you said, just everything that Takemichi loves. Started with the puzzle.
Yes.
Where he was so upset, and then Dragon's like, I said I was sorry. And Takemichi's like, I know, but I spent like 3 days on this. Like, come on, man. And then just one thing after another. It's like, wait, no, don't destroy that. That's from, like when me and my dad went to go do this. Oh, no, don't destroy that. That's my first bike or whatever it was. Just one thing after
another. I
another.
was bad in 4th grade or I hit my first home run.
Yeah, please don't. And he snaps it over his knee. He's like, no, bro. Oh, man.
Which leads to Takemichi going Super Saiyan.
Yeah, basically.
Which was super sad. That's when it ended.
Yeah, it was. It'll be a good way to kick off the next episode, though.
He's got a lot of shit just sitting outside.
That's true. After
he doesn't have a yard, so it's literally in the street.
That's so true. When I was watching all this happen, I didn't really think about when I read it. I'm just like, he just has a lot of important shit to him just sitting outside right now.
Did you not just leave shit out in your front yard when you were a kid?
Not like that. And not if it was something important like that. I put my stuff up.
He didn't really have a front yard to keep that much stuff in.
True.
Well, what's great about that shot is the fact that it shows Mikey coming in through the fence, and then that fence, when they actually started fighting, just disappears.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, no, sort of. Yeah, because it shows a little wall as Draken's coming out. Like, this is the, I forget Takemichi's last name, but
Hanagaki.
Yeah, Hanagaki residence, and
Man, I'm on one today.
Has a little wall and like the little sort of stereotypical metal fence thing, and you see Mikey there, and then as they're throwing stuff around, it sort of just disappears. Either Takemichi has like a gigantic yard, or that wall just disappears.
And the best part about this whole fight that like Josh doesn't know and like anime only viewers don't know is how and why this fight ends.
Yeah,
that's I can't wait to hear some reactions about that next week. With how the fight actually comes to a close. It's fantastic. It's so stupid. I love it. Let's hop over from there. 86, episode 7. Another banger of an episode, man.
It's fucking rough.
Dude, it was. Another banger of an episode. We lost a couple more people of the Spearhead Squadron, more of like a couple of lesser known members of the team. Zach looks very confused. Yeah, we lost a couple in all the explosions you got because
you're right.
Yeah, because it was very subtle. It was very subtle because in the explosions of when their mechs got blown up, you got a quick shot of the fire of those characters shooting fireworks. That was their like, oh, this is the character that left. This is the character that's gone.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I thought at first, and then I was like, then they went to the field, and I was like, did anyone actually die? Because all the main ones are still there.
Yeah.
And then that makes sense that it's all like side characters.
Yep. Lost a couple another of the squad. We had a nice little moment earlier in the episode where the Spearhead got a chance to celebrate in this festival because, major waifu, there you go, Zach.
Yep.
Lena, shipped off fireworks to them to help them celebrate, but wrote it off as special ammunition. So they had a chance to just enjoy themselves, whatever. And then, they were going in to check, invade that base, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was that they were initiating that mission that was brought down to them,
which they knew was a death trap.
Yeah, they knew was going to be a suicide mission, and then Lena, she called off the mission, which pulled them back, and Shin agreed to it, after they lost a couple, and that's when they, one thing about this episode is that in this episode, like Anju and drawing a blank on the redhead girl's name. I was doing so good in this show up to this point. They were having a little moment in the shower where they were talking about, it's like, they haven't told Lena, like they haven't told Handler 1. It's like, and we as the viewers, we have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know what they're talking about.
The other thing is the fact that it showed that Anju apparently has something carved into the back of her body.
Yeah, that's true. There's like carvings in the back of her body. Brutal there. So, early in the episode, we got teased that there's something we don't know as the watcher.
Yeah.
That's something that we don't know that, Lena does not know either. And then finally at the end of the episode, we did get the news from like Shin and everyone of what it was that basically, hey, we're gonna die no matter what. Like, because these past couple episodes, they've kind of she's been sitting there saying, I'm gonna get you more people. She's been going to her uncle about it, like, hey, we need to get them more people. I mean, this is like our best squadron. Come on, let's go. But they break it to her. They're like, hey, it's not gonna happen. Like, they're not gonna send more people until we're dead and gone. That's just how this works.
The reveal at the end is that pretty much everyone in the Spearhead Squad are the ones who are close to finishing their 5 years.
Yep. Air quotes there.
Spearhead is the execution grounds. Anyone who survives that long is all put there until they die.
Yeah, exactly. Which it just further adds to the depressing nature of this series. But man, it's so good. Like, the writing for this series, it really just it does a great job at just pulling at your heartstrings, dude. Josh, you kind of jumped in this series a little bit later than Zach and I. How are you feeling towards 7 and just how everything's going right now? You still really enjoying the series?
I am, yeah. I like the split perspective in the episodes.
True.
Where the first half of the episode's one's perspective and the second's the other. It's really nice, and I'm definitely excited to see where it's going.
That's massively true. Yeah.
Especially with that little in snippet of this, I assume this Legion tank thing that's just kicking off this other squadron one by one. I'm excited to see where it's going.
We got a big fight coming up here soon.
I assume that's the Shepherd or commander, because in the episode we do get a shot as they're retreating of Shin getting a very visual of his brother.
Yeah, he did.
But I don't think that's the one that. Well, because it's a different squadron, so yeah, possibly. I don't know. Wouldn't imagine that it was but I did forget that Shin can hear those voices from a very long distance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a big fight coming up with that Legion. That's gonna be super exciting, man. I don't know if it'll be necessarily be episode 8, maybe 9, but since it'll probably never mind. Yeah, it probably will just be 8 because this is only 11 episodes.
Yeah, we only got 4 episodes left,
which is so depressing. I'm so upset about that. This is the series that I watch first every single week. This is the series I am most hyped for at the moment. With the content that we have on hand, you know what I mean, and the content to come. That is my number one right now. And man, it's depressing that we only have a few weeks left of it. But what about To Your Eternity episode 7? Like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch it. It's the only thing I did not watch. But I did watch episode 6 that I missed last week, and episode 6 was phenomenal. Absolutely an incredible episode. How was 7? How did we follow up?
So 7, Fushi and I forget the old lady's name. It's Hanoi or something.
Yeah, it starts with a P.
Yeah. So it actually focuses more on the kid with the salamander head and his backstory, because it's sort of building up. Because the first half is about that kid, and the second half is the kid teaching Fushi about working at that shop and whatnot. Because it's sort of building up as a brother relationship. Because so far we've had his sort of, I guess, father was the initial kid, and then March is being considered his mother. So now he's gonna have a brother. Yeah, no, that kid has it rough. Him and his older brother were living together in a tent, building up money to be able to build a house, working the field, selling fruit for a guy they work for. And we find out the kid is awestruck by this rich girl who walks around the market stalls and whatnot, and he simps for her super hard. Anytime he sees her, he blushes. The few times he talks to her, he can't help but stutter and can't talk properly. And during all this, his brother meets some friends who mention, you got to win, and run off. And him and his brother have been keeping their money in a little box thing. He comes home one day and realizes some of it's missing. And his brother says, someone probably just robbed us. Don't worry about it. He hides it somewhere else, comes home again later. His brother's gone with a note saying, I've gone to fight against fate, against our fate, or against fate, and has abandoned his little brother and took all their money. So now his little brother works on his own. And during all this, he almost gets killed by a log because someone's transporting logs, flies off the cart, almost hits him, rolls, gets caught by a branch, and the guy runs off to get help. And as he's doing, he sees the girl he's simping for super hard down at the bottom of the hill, and the branch holding log naturally starts to snap and roll down. And him being a good kid and simping hard goes and saves her by pushing over. The log misses her. He flies off a cliff. The log follows after him and lands on his fucking face.
Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah, and it's real sad because he saves her and she gets pushed out of the way and sort of falls unconscious. And he's just at the bottom of this cliff ravine thing with a log on his face. And all the adults see her and it's like, oh, she's bleeding. We need to take care of her because she's high nobility or whatever. And nobody even looks down the cliff. Nobody saw him. He's just down there with a log on his face, crushed. And yeah, they take the girl, leave, and it's even worse because they do it in a dark perspective of him, because it actually shows the shot of when the log lands on him and it's just dark.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah,
I love that, but that's brutal. I love that as a viewer.
And then eventually this old guy who is a brewer, and we see one shot of him in the market of him carrying a hog on his back, finds the kid and he's just like, well, Sonny, you've had it rough to still be alive. He digs him out, takes him to his home, and his face has been destroyed, and he creates wooden pieces for his eyes and nose.
Okay.
And throughout the whole beginning half, it's showing the kid's face, and then when this happens, his face is like shaded really hard until he sees a mirror and sees himself. And it doesn't show us the face, but you can see slight outlines of what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy walks in, you're awake. Your nose was broken, so I helped you out. And the old dude's like super chill about this. It's like he does this every day.
Like, whatever, no big deal.
Yeah, the kid's distraught. He's like, well, I'm going to help you out. Gives him a little salamander mask, and then it skips 3 months in the future of where episode 6 ended with Fushi and the old lady entering the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second half is Fushi and him interacting with each other, him showing Fushi how to take care of the store, the brewing shop, just showing him around and whatnot. It has a little moment where he wants to take Fushi to the river to clean off because he notices how raggedy Fushi's clothes are.
True.
It has a moment where they're running to the forest and Fushi just stops. And the old lady's like, you're scared of the forest? Yeah.
After episode 6, yeah, fair.
After what happened. And the kid doesn't understand. He's like, okay, oh, well, I guess we'll go back in the house. And more or less it just has those two interacting with each other, sort of building up this relationship between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even has a moment where they're all eating dinner and the old people are just talking about schemes they can use Fushi for to make money. He's like, no, you can't do that to Fushi. I want him part of of this family. And more or less saying that he's the older brother, Fushi's the little brother.
Mm.
And then during all this, Fushi and him are working the front door, and lo and behold, Miss Rich Girl or Noble Girl walks in, and he's real smitten with her and everything, trying to talk to her and whatnot, only to find out the reason she's in the store is because she's simping for Fushi.
Ooh. Ooh. Plot twist.
And more or less him pushing Fushi out to get him away so he can't steal her from him. Then we have a nice little shot after that, those little events of him crying to his futon, and the old guy's like, builds character, has more or less a speech of, it builds character and strength, having heartache. And then I don't really remember what happens after that. It sort of just ends a bit after that. I'm going to go further into the relationship of Fushi and this kid.
Okay. The one thing that I really loved about episode 6, well, I mean, I love the whole thing, but obviously, like the whole fighting sequence that we got, it was
really unique.
It was super unique, super cool. But I loved how throughout that episode 6 is more and more you got to see Fushi learn and grow, where he actually can speak now, besides just saying, thank you. Like he can actually put together some sentences and kind of communicate a little bit. I think that was one of the biggest takeaways for 6 for me.
And with this and 7, the kid's also been teaching him other things, like telling him if you're not sure about something, say, I don't know, and things like that. So Fushi's slowly gaining a vocabulary.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see where the rest of the series is going to go. I'm still tempted to read it, but I'm kind of on the boat that you are about reading it, where I don't know if I want to have those feels twice. I'd rather just have it once and just get it over with. What about Eden Zero, episode 7? Good episode, follow up to the little spat we had between Elsie and Shiki, which got to see some more of Shiki's abilities, which looked awesome, by the way, where he used, what was it called, something Comet, Dark Comet, was that what it was called?
Gravity Comet.
Which got to see more of his abilities in that regard, which was super dope. They actually got the Eden Zero.
Yep.
The Eden Zero is officially, in the series now. We're moving forward. This is going to open everything else up from this point forward.
Got introduced to Witch.
The next one's going to be Sister, right? Yep. Yeah. So the next one's going to be Sister, and then we're going to have Hermit introduced not long after that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it was a dope episode.
And don't forget about Homura.
Yeah, we have her coming up here soon. But yeah, I mean, this was a dope episode. Wish I could talk in full-blown details about it. Really do. But I do want to be respectful for people that want to watch this when it officially comes out on Netflix. But it was a great episode, though. I think, the biggest takeaway is that this is the episode that's going to really start to take things off because they got Eden Zero. That's where things are going to really just kind of, go from there and explore from there. But you have any takeaways on the episode before we move on?
And after this episode, Rebecca unfortunately has a tentacle play video out there.
That's true. That's true. She does. Next up, we do have Seven Deadly Sins, episodes 19 and 20 of the final season. Episode 19 being, back and forth fighting, where you have fighting between the Sins and the Demon King, and fighting with Zeldris and the Demon King as well. It was a decent episode. It was fine. Didn't really have any major complaints with it. A couple funny little tidbits once Zeldris comes back into play. I did think that was enjoyable, between Meliodas and him kind of poking fun. One of my favorite moments in the episode, just because of how quick and kind of subtle it was when Zeldris was fighting the Demon King. He was talking, the Demon King was saying something about how Meliodas don't give a shit about you, blah, blah. Zeldris, keep in mind in this situation, Geldra, Meliodas, Zeldris' woman's right behind him. Zeldris is like, oh, you can't fool me. I know what's in Meliodas' heart, and it's just you have no idea the power that can come from whenever you love someone. And then he just pauses and he immediately turns around to Geldra. He's like, don't tell Meliodas I said that. I thought that was funny as can be. And then whenever he does get out, he finally, kind of gets out. There was a moment where he was laying, Gelder's holding him, and he's laying, facing up, whatever. And he immediately just turns around and just face plants into Gelder's tits. Just as a comfort thing, and Meliodas, he has, it turns into little the chibi style form that they'll do, and Meliodas is like, so you're a tits guy, and Zeldris is like, shut up, leave me alone. So those were a couple tidbits there about 19 that was really funny. 20 was the conclusion to this fight, and I gotta say, the second half of episode 20, it did things to me. I'm not gonna lie, it did things to me.
Where there's one just sliding across the floor?
Not that.
Okay.
Not that. I'm not going to say what happened because this is obviously a big one. But of as much, the Bond moment, that was a personal one for me and a lot of people. That's a dope ass moment. That's a dope ass fight. Okay. Meliodas and Escanor in the previous season, that's a dope ass fight. They've obviously screwed up both, right? There are, lots of tidbits here in the fight with Demon King. They have screwed up. But stepping back away from personal feelings on that, I feel like any Seven Deadly Sins fan that's read the manga can all agree. If there was any moment for them not to screw up, it was this moment in episode 20. And I got to say, they did not screw it up. It was not, they did it wonderfully. They did this moment justice, really brought out a lot of emotion in me. They did a really great job delivering the emotion factor of the second half of the episode. This episode did things to me, man. I watched today on lunch and I'm just like, oh damn, I'm starting to tear up here, man. This is some rough shit. It was a good episode. I got to say the second half of the episode was actually really good. With that said, what was you guys' favorite episode of the week? I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I can pick one. I have a 4-way tie. I'm going to be completely real with you. I have no idea what my favorite could be.
86.
Respectable. Josh, what about you?
I think I'm going to go Tokyo Avengers.
Respectable. I have a potential 4-way tie between, believe it or not, for the first time ever,
Dragon Quest?
7 Deadly Sins episode 20 is in contention. Even though it was last week's episode, Eternity episode 6, 86, and My Hero. I don't know if I can pick between them. If I had to pick, honestly, just for the memes, I'll go ahead and give it to 7 Deadly Sins for the first time ever. They take the crown. They did one thing right that needed to be done right. So I'll give them the crown for favorite episode. I mean, it drew a lot of emotion out of me.
Okay.
So I mean, it was a good time. After that, I'd probably say 86 though. 86, it was fire. All right, so let's wrap up the show with our chapter ratings for the week. Kicking things off, we did have One Piece on a break, so let's hop over to My Hero Academia 313. What would you guys rate it?
8.
8 was my rating as well.
7.
Okay. What about Black Clover 293?
9.
9.
9.
Dr. Stone 197.
7.
I gave it an 8, personally.
Yeah, I was leaning at 8.
I was struggling with it, but when I really look at it, I was like, I got back together. 7.
What about JJK 149?
10. I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Oh, okay. You getting a 10 from Josh this week. That's what's up. I gave it a 9, personally.
I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, it was a great chapter, man. Mission Yozakura Family 83. Give that bad boy a 9. That 34-pager was awesome. Awesome chapter. And also, my God, that was probably, in my opinion, like
The color page?
that is like the best color page we've got this year. Like that was a
Honestly,
beautiful color
you posted
page.
that in our Discord, and I was like, when did he start reading another space manga?
Oh my God, no.
But that's what I just glanced at. When I really looked at it, I was like, oh, okay.
No, that was a beautiful color page, man. I love that. Undead Unluck Chapter 64. I give that one an 8. Mashal 63. Give that one a 9. Got
9.
some good shit going on in Mashal right now.
Josh?
I'll give it an 8.
Okay, I respect that. Sakamono Days 24.
I'll give it a 7.
Give it an 8, personally. Elusive Samurai Chapter 17. I gave this one an 8 as well.
See, I was sort of struck between this one. I mean, it wasn't bad, but at the same time, I felt like something was missing. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay. ITLC Chapter 16. I give this one a 7. Josh, you said you have not caught up on it, correct?
I have not. That's correct.
Okay. Witch Watch Chapter 15. I gave this one an 8, believe it or not.
Nah, 7.
What about Ball Parade Chapter 14?
No, I think I'm leaning more towards a 6. I mean, even with the rivalry, yeah, but I wasn't really hyped for it.
I gave this one a 7. It was okay. What about Blue Box Chapter 6?
8.
Really? I gave this one a 7. I can see your 8, though. What about Candy Flurry Chapter 5? I gave this one an 8.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
I'm enjoying Candy Flurry. It's just dumb enough for me to enjoy. My Hero Vigilantes 102. I'd give that one an 8. Kaiju number 8, Chapter 35. Yeah, I gave it a 9.
9.
Hopping over from there, we got some Weekly Shonen Magazine stuff. Tokyo Avengers 207.
8.
I give it an 8. Super pumped, though. Really enjoyed this chapter.
You know what's really going to be bad about it?
Hmm.
It's just the fact of the fight we're going to get.
Yeah, I know.
And we're going to have a freaking rally.
I know.
It's going to be a really big one, too.
It is. Yeah, that fight is going to be intense, dude. I'm ready. This is a good chapter. This is what I've been waiting to get back to for the past couple of weeks. Eden 0144. I gave it an 8.
8.
7 Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, Chapter 17. I gave it an 8. Ranger Reject, Chapter 15. Gave that one an 8. God of High School was on a break, which is really disappointing because that Chapter 516 ended on a massively awesome tease note.
And the unfortunate thing about Webtoon, it just says hiatus.
Yeah.
So that may have been the mid-season break. So we may not see it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, so we'll continue to stay updated on that. Ordinary 234. Now this was the mid-season finale,
Yes.
so it is now confirmed. Now this one is 1000% confirmed from the author on Twitter that Unordinary will return later this year. So we're going to be without Unordinary for a few months, unfortunately. But Unordinary 234. What would you rate this one? I gave it an 8 personally.
I give it A for John learning how to gel properly.
I respect that. I saw someone comment on that. I thought that was funny. Soul leveling 153. I give this one an 8.
I'll give it an 8. I'm hoping we get big-ass shield and knife-wielding demon.
I'm hoping for, like, the most badass team up that we're going to have in this series now.
I feel like it's going to have to be.
Yeah, it's going to be such a dope team up between those two, man. I'm here for it. What about Weak Hero 139? I gave it a 7.
Yeah, 7's good.
And lastly, finishing things up, we have El Cid 113.
8.
What was you guys' favorite chapter of the week? Josh, yours is pretty clear. You know, you gave a 10 on JJK. So what about you, Zach? What would be your favorite chapter of the week?
I think I'm actually going to give it to Blue Box.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really liked Blue Box this week.
Okay, all right. Man, I gotta say, I am torn between two. I'm torn between Kaiju and Mission Yozakura Family. It's gonna be one of those two. I'll go ahead and give it to Mission Yozakura Family. Shout out to them for getting the cover. A dope ass color page. No, that was a really good chapter, guys. I cannot stress that enough. We do have confirmed for next Shonen Jump issue is going to be Black Clover.
Yep.
Is going to be on the cover. I would expect a Berserk tribute on that.
I would see it. Yeah.
I would expect that personally. Berserk tribute potentially for the cover. We also did get confirmed the color pages for that issue, but I am drawing a blank on them. I could not tell you. I think Witch Watch is getting Witch Watch just got a color page. That's right. Witch Watch just got one in this issue. Cannot remember what the color pages are for next week. So, but either way. But yeah, I'd say Mission Yozakura Family though. It's my favorite for sure. All right, well, that's gonna do it for the show. We hit everything that we wanted to hit this week. If you guys made it all the way to the end, you guys are awesome. We appreciate you. Whether if you're listening or watching, if you're watching, make sure to hit the like button or dislike, either or. And make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'd greatly appreciate that. Continue to grow. I have been seeing some more subs come in on our YouTube channel, Sparky 3. I've seen, it's slow going, but hey, it's going up. That's what matters. It is slow going though, and it will be for a little while, and that's fine. We understand how this works. But if you could, please subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate that. Like I kind of joked about midway through the show, I should have mentioned this at the very beginning. Go check out our bonus cast for 10 great anime character backstories. We do have that on the channel as well as available on every platform in audio format. I do think that our next bonus cast is probably going to be set, and I'm going to probably go ahead and say we'll probably do a Father's Day edition bonus cast. That was something that you pitched, Zach.
Yep.
That is coming up in June. So we'll probably go ahead and lock that in. Go ahead and do that for the next bonus cast. And I also have a bonus cast that I'm working on to come out in the next month or so, which is going to be the first. We've talked about this maybe on the show. I know we talked about behind closed doors with us, but the first sales pitch for why you should watch or read this. To no surprise, the first one I'm doing will be Kaito Hitman Reborn. I'm working on a sales pitch bonus cast for that. These sales pitches that we've kind of talked about, it's going to be very short. At least mine is. If you guys want to do one and make it really long and detailed, that's whatever you guys want to do. You and Josh, that's you guys' choice. But for me personally, mine's going to be short to the point. Like, this is why you should check it out. X, Y, and Z. Hit bullet points. Talk about it. Briefly without spoiling the entire series. That's how I'm going to do mine, at least.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. Still working on figuring out what the next spoiler cast is going to be. Don't know what the next spoiler cast is going to be. We know we got a couple ideas lined up, like Shield Hero setting up for Season 2. We got Demon Slayer Season 2. So we do have a couple things in mind that we're working on right now. But, subscribing to the channel, you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on. Follow us on Twitter at AniMan Podcast. Also stay up to date that way as well. And also just make sure to go check out my other podcast, my gaming podcast, Lighthearted Gamers. You can follow us on Twitter at LH Gamers Podcast. That's also available on every single platform. As well here on this YouTube channel, if you're watching it here, you can go check it out over there. Lots of cool stuff come out of Lighthearted Gamers. Really excited for that one. Zach, Josh, you guys have anything you guys want to say to wrap things up here for the show?
For anybody listening to this on audio, or watching a video on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, rate, star, whatever your platform allows. It does help. If you're on YouTube and you do like us, subscribe. If you care to be notified, hit that bell. We do appreciate it. If not, as Alex says, we'll keep living.
That's true.
Well, maybe
We'll
one
see.
day it'll get to us.
Yeah, maybe one day. I mean, we're gonna keep on going. You dislike it, that's fine. We're gonna keep on rocking with our content. Josh, you got anything for us?
Just follow us on Twitter at AniMan Podcast. Tell us what you think, what you want to hear, anything like that.
Right on. All right. Well, like I said, if you made it all the way to the end, you're awesome, and we appreciate you for it. Hopefully, you have a great rest of your day, whatever day you're watching this or listening. Hopefully, the rest of your day is absolutely freaking incredible. Hopefully, the rest of your week is incredible. All that good stuff. Till next time, guys. See you.